Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode number 26 of Virgo Vibes. It has been a minute. I am your host, Elizabeth Jankovic, a 21-year-old living in New York City, full-time pursuing acting, modeling, social media stuff, and just living the vegan lifestyle and showing you guys and talking to you guys about my life. So that's like kind of the new intro I've been doing in my videos. So I figure why not do it in my podcast in case y'all do not know who I am and you're just watching one thing. And yes, there we go. We have a siren, New York City. I just said that. So, I believe last podcast was about Cancer season. And I honestly don't know. It is July 16th right now. It's Friday, July 16th. And I know Leo season is coming up soon. Like, there's probably 1 week left of Cancer season. I definitely feel like I did cry a lot this month. I don't really know. I kind of forgot also what I learned in last podcast. I should go back and listen to it and be like, what was Cancer season supposed to be about? But I remember not being disappointed after recording that episode. Anyway, so that podcast went up on July 27th, and that was 3 weeks ago. It's been so long since I've recorded a podcast. That was probably also the last time I really recorded any acting self-tapes at all, because life's been crazy, and this is a little bit about what today's podcast is going to be about. And I'm short on time, so it's going to be probably a 15-minute podcast today, but we're going to talk about big lifestyle changes and how to incorporate that into your normal routine. And then we're going to talk about how I'm feeling today, because it's much different than the last 3 weeks. So let's see, where am I? June was kind of crazy. What was June though? Wasn't that Gemini season? End of May into June was Gemini season. Yeah, I don't know why it was so crazy. And then Cancer season has been, I guess, better, relatively. I feel like by the end of June, I was really starting to, come back to normal. And then this month, it was July 4th, and then a lot of, socialization and stuff. And then, the lifestyle changes. So I put up a video recently. I think it's it's 2 videos ago, and it was about just my post-grad update and backstory, all of college, and then also going forward this year as far as the next couple months. And I was saying that at the end of that week or this week or whatever it was, I was I'm touring apartments with my sister, and we really need to get one ASAP. And I guess depending on the city you live in or place you live in, the housing market is so different. So in New York City, you can literally tour a place, get the application, get approved, and move in all in the same week. But I have a best friend in Boston who figured out her September apartment back in April. So that's fucking wild to me, because here in the city, I know you can get something right away. And basically my sister took off a few days, and I was okay, we have to use these days to get this apartment set up, the situation, tour and find something. And I was just I really hope we can do it all in those 5 days, because then, those were her 5 days off to literally tour an apartment. So it was kind of we get it that weekend or kind of fucked, because then scheduling other stuff in the future would have been way more difficult. Just when people say you graduate college and you have to start applying to jobs, applying to jobs is a full-time job. You have to do it all day, every day, whatever. Same thing with apartment touring. You're looking at apartments online, you're contacting people, you're trying to set up appointments, you have to go see them. Yeah, the flush is really loud in my place's bathroom, the common bathroom in the hallway, so I'm sure you just heard that awful flush. But it's it's just, you just really have to be on top of your phone, email, text, online searching, scheduling, and then going to see the apartments and stuff. So we spent 2 days touring, and we found a place that we liked, and then we were able to start that process. So because that process was so time consuming, I just said, how the heck, I was speaking to my mom about this, how are you supposed to keep your regular routine under such high stress like that? And needless to say, I really didn't. Last night, I was up from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. literally going through all of my acting things that I hadn't done for the past 3 days. And I was very half-assing it for honestly weeks, like, I feel like I had so many things to do, and I was like staying up late and had to get up early, and I wasn't even filming self-tapes or audition tapes. Like how I just said, the last time I probably recorded was 3 weeks ago when I did this podcast. That's basically what happened. I feel like I wasn't able to do my acting things. I was submitting to what I could submit, but a lot of things I had to just be like, oh, I have to make this audition tape later when I'm free. And that's actually going to be today. So after I do this podcast, I'm going to do some voiceovers, and then I'm going to try to do some tapes, which is super exciting, getting back to the grind. I feel like just with the holiday and then planning apartment searching and then doing everything after that, it's just like that literally takes so much time. So I was not working out. I feel like I was just doing very basic morning routine. I was prioritizing the very, very essentials of my daily life, like wake up, brush my teeth, stretch, change, put on clothes, shower, whatever, like literally basic hygienic stuff. And then just like doing the day how I have to do it, and like just stress, and it was awful. And I was talking to my mom, I was like, how is there any way you're supposed to keep your routine? Like I was barely like my emails started piling up, my acting submissions, like people were messaging me on so many different things, and I just like wasn't getting to it. And I just feel like, honestly, like I wasn't even working during this time. So I was like, maybe like regular people like would just take off of work and then they feel like stress is taken off because they just aren't working. But for me, like I'm an actor and I work from home, and it's like I kind of control my work schedule, and it's like if I have 3 days where I missed the acting submissions, I'm not going to skip those submissions. I'm still going to go back and like make sure I look at every single opportunity, because you never know with acting. So I don't know, maybe people when they take off, like it's easy. Like maybe for my sister, she wasn't under so much stress because like her job is like an in-person, you go there, whereas acting is like you're doing the emails yourself and like you're trying to submit yourself. So maybe it's just different with that work-life balance and like YouTube and like whatever. So I was just like shook as frick, and I was like, maybe also like it's not like I was cutting down social events, like I was still socializing. So maybe it's like if I didn't do those events, I would have had the time for myself, but those were already like pre-planned. So it just ended up being like super, super high stress, very minimal self-care or me time, and very high like seeing other people. Like I did not have time to myself at all. I was always with somebody or doing something. I still don't think I've ever had a day completely to myself since honestly the beginning of the month or something. But at least I've had those like half days or mornings like today to myself where I can kind of relax or whatever. Because it's like, there are some people I know who it's like if they have quote unquote free time, they literally will like try to make plans or like be like, oh, who's free, whatever. For me, I started, part of me was like, oh, like this person wanted to hang out. I'm kind of free this day. Let me see if they're free, just out of convenience. But like as far as mental health or like self-care vibes, that like I just was seeing people way too much. Like, and that includes like family or even just like work. Like I'm saying, like having to go out and interact with anybody, like, cause I could stay home all day by myself and be totally content and happy. And I actually need that as like an introvert. So I was just like baffled by the fact that when you have a huge life change, and I was talking about how like my sister got married last year, my other sister, how do you like live daily life without being stressed until that event is over? Like, okay, apartment searching, okay, finding it, okay, doing all the stuff, okay, then moving, I just, it's upsetting. It's upsetting that these huge life things, almost like, unless you really break it down into like pieces, or you stop a lot of other extra things that same time frame of your life, like, okay, I'm not going to see any friends, or I'm not going to do any of this like bonus extra fun stuff. I'm just going to do like the stuff I need for myself and then for this big move, I suppose. But it's like, yeah, it was just like stressful as heck, like especially for people who can't even take off, like how do you move, like how do you do this? So that's how I was feeling. I was just like, how do you do it? And my conclusion is really prioritizing your super basic needs. If you can take off of work, do that. If you cancel plans or have the ability to just like take on less on your plate, do that, because like then you're gonna wind up like me, stressed, angry, yelling at literally everybody, and being sad. Mind you, I also was sleep deprived the entire time. I was getting 5-6 hours of sleep like multiple days in a row. Last night I slept from like 3:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And so that comes out to 9 hours, but there probably were times that I woke up for like at least 10 or so minutes. So it could have ended up being like 8.5, but still, like I felt so rejuvenated today. Like I was like, damn, like, did I have coffee today? Like, I was so excited to record this podcast because I was just like, wow, like, let me, like, I don't know. I just, like, was like, boom, 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 boom. It also obviously depends, like, the food you're eating. Did you eat good food, like, your nutrition? But, like, I really felt like I had, like, a coffee today. And, like, I haven't. And it's just that natural dopamine and energy from taking care of yourself. Like, I showered last night. I spent the 2 hours, like, going through my acting emails. I really planned out today, which we'll see how it goes. I have, like, 2 hours to do the rest of the things that I want to do. So we'll figure it out. And so it's just been a crazy amount of, like weeks of seeing people, not having enough time for myself, putting my things that I normally prioritize on a back burner for other things, and then just feeling like shit about it, and also like physically feeling like shit because I'm not getting sleep, to now, okay, having like finally rested, planning my day today. Like, if I knock everything that I want to do today out, oh my god, like, then I'm like, I swear, like, I'm not gonna have to worry for a few days. And then literally the next couple of weeks coming up, I wasn't working honestly for a couple of weeks because I wasn't really getting hours and stuff like that. So it's been pretty slow. But these next couple of weeks, I am getting some more action on my plate. So it's good that I spend like this weekend, whatever, this time doing my stuff. I don't even have a video plan. So today's Friday and my videos go up Tuesday. I don't have a video plan for Tuesday. And I literally might end up making this podcast my Tuesday video, like do a 2-in-1 and like kind of skip a week, or maybe I'll like vlog today. We'll see what ends up happening. I don't know yet. But yeah, just like sleep, guys. Sleep, take care of yourself, because you can't give your best self to others or those around you when you're not taking care of yourself. And it sucks when your situation doesn't even allow for it. Like, I had to really like last minute take a trip up to Westchester at the beginning of this week, and like that really threw me off. Like, I wasn't intending on doing that, and then I couldn't do any acting things or tapes or whatever that I probably would have intended on doing. So it was very stressful. Honestly, this is a very short podcast, but I'm going to wrap it up. I also apologize that I had some cuts going on because the bathroom flushing is very loud and people in my hallway. But August 1st, let me get close to the microphone. August 1st, all of that will change. I literally should do an ASMR channel. Like, I need to. And since my sister and I are going to be living together, literally with like no distractions, like not our family working from home, not like our parents, whatever, like we're going to be living on our own, because that's the update. If you guys aren't subscribed but only listen to my podcast, you wouldn't have heard, but I am moving to a 2-bedroom apartment with my sister, and we're going to be in the city. I'm already in the city right now. If you guys know my situation, it's almost like a dorm situation, but now I'm going to have my actual own apartment. Adulting, my first ever apartment, like, it's crazy. All my friends kind of have one already, so it's good that I got to like see a bunch of like different friends' apartments and like get a grasp on like where they live, whatever. It's going to be a slightly different area than I'm living in now, but still generally, like, when you look at the entire city, it's like still the same area, you know what I mean? Just like a little bit up. So yeah, that's my update. Super excited. ASMR vibes. August 1st, I will be moving literally 2 weeks. Thank God I can like plan my stuff. All of August is really going to be like transitioning though, because like from Westchester to the city, because August 1st, really that week is just going to be moving from like this place to that place. And then after that, I'm going to, throughout August, before September hits, is really when I'm going to like downsize in Westchester, clean out my closet, pack up my things, leave it pretty scarce up there, because like, I don't know, I just want to be, I want most of my things to be with me in the city, not at home. And that's like what it is right now. Like, I have maybe 25% of my, maybe 25% of my belongings in this room, like barely. And I want to make it like 75-25 when I move to my next apartment. Thank you guys so much for listening. Sorry it was chaotic and I look kind of gross and it's a really bad angle for the video, but your girl has to rush today. I just have to get this out. It's also a Friday during the day, so there was a lot of street sounds and sirens and trucks, and I'm sorry. I just wanted to hop on to this real quick motivation hit. Natural, like, sleep so that you, like, literally the amount of energy I'm feeling this morning feels like I had coffee. And I didn't. And like, fuck, sleep is really important for you. Thank you guys so much for listening to episode number 26 of Virgo Vibes Podcast. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, subscribe to the podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, follow. If you want to learn more about me, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, and check out my Instagram at elizabeth.j. I also have a link tree linked below the podcast, and you can find out all of my other works and stuff. And next episode will be about Leo season. I'm a Venus in Leo, and a lot of my best friends are Leos, and I'm excited. I feel super, like, I just really need to do ASMR because it's fun. Sorry for my appearance in the video. I want to say I just woke up because I kind of did like 2 hours ago. And I don't know, I kind of have eye bags. I don't know. Love you guys so much. Talk to you guys in my next podcast, or I'll see you guys in my next video. This is Elizabeth Jankovic, your host of Virgo Vibes, signing off.